It's unfortunate. I mean, I take in so many cats at home. It's unfortunate I
Mhm.
can't do that with dogs because it's a little depressing state. But I live in like a society where a lot of other people live too, and
We
there
all
are
live in
rules.
a society.
No, I mean like, oh yeah, you're right. We all live, including the people, including the tea leaves that live inside the bag of society tea leaves. They live in.
Society.
Dude, remember that
Society.
old commercial like, ha 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 ha, like six women like
Yeah.
shrieking, what take out? Like, fuck, that was an old
uh,
commercial.
but yeah.
Society.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
bad jokes aside.
society. I mean, I wish I could take in dogs in my house too, but my dogs aren't allowed in my building. Cats aren't allowed too.
uh,
It's just like it's a very, very strong statement when I say they're not allowed to. To a lot of people listening to this who are not from India, this might sound scandalizing. But if you're from India, you know how people in buildings can
yeah.
be, right? Like,
Yeah.
they have these strict rules and they try and do everything they can to keep strays out. Like it's just a disgusting word, like strays. Yeah, we don't want to go
Yeah.
in that direction. So I wish I could take dogs in home, but dogs are big and then they want to climb on you and then they just like they follow you everywhere, which is good on some days. But cats are like independent. They like come in, you pick them up, you just throw them out like Tom used to get kicked out of the house, and they're okay with it. Don't want to come back in immediately. They'll just go on their way, trotting happily along.
And then
It's
they make it back inside.
Yeah, they make it back as well. They primarily come in for food, but that's what they make you think. Like they secretly also like the attention you give, but they come in on the pretext of food and they're like, हाँ, I mean, अगर प्यार करना है तो कर ले. तो, like, but dude, like both of them are so much fun. Like I don't think like if you are either a cat person or a dog person, I'd seriously suggest like reevaluate and just be like an animal person. Like both dogs and cats are very easy. And you know what? Like there are these people who are generally petrified of dogs and cats. And I don't want to give you any advices. You do you. You know what. But then there are people who aren't afraid, but they're just apprehensive. And
In
the o-
like when you speak about petrified and apprehensive, like I have a story.
oh,
Um, I really love dogs and cats, but like dogs at times can scare me when I don't know them.
I'll-
Especially like I would love to have like a dog friendo at home or something,
a dog,
or
what? Could you say?
dog friendo.
What? I don't think I've heard of that.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
you mean like a furry baby, a pet, or you're just
furry.
dude.
I'm just calling it a friendo. Like it's my friend.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, kudos to you for like trying hard and coming up with synonyms to pet. Okay, like it's like the whole thing of saying sheeples instead of guys or girls. It's like all over again.
no, so friendo is genuinely a word some people use,
Right.
like here and there. But yeah, I would love to have one. And the only problems usually, like one of the problems my mom usually comes up with is like, you're not gonna be the one taking care of it. I'm the one who's gonna get stuck like looking after the dog, and you're just gonna live your happy life
I
around,
get
and I'll
that.
be the one like looking at it and
I
seeing
get
how.
that all the time, but
Yeah,
I bet you like all
but
my money on it that if you ever
yeah,
get like a baby at home, your own mother is going to end up loving that
that's
fur
what she
baby.
says as well. Like I'll start loving it. So again, I have another story for that. But
Yeah.
before I get to that, the apprehensive part, why I'm apprehensive for like
Go.
dogs that I don't know. When I was a kid, right, I had gone to Delhi to my cousin's place. It was for I think my cousin's wedding. And we were staying over at one of their guest houses. And what ended up happening was like, so we had to their house and the guest house was just like a street away basically. It was night, and I was just making my way to the guest house alone, and it's a gated community. It's not like dangerous or anything. It's just like one of those places where at night it's just like really dark. And the guest house is a street, just like a lane away. So I'm like, yeah, I'll make it. It's chill. I'll go. And I reach, like, I'm walking. I reach near the location that I need to go to. And then there's like this group of dogs, like a pack basically, that's just chilling around next to the guest house. I'm like, oh, cool, dogs. But then I'm also sure that they aren't like gonna like me just like petting them. So I'm like, it's night, like let's just go into the guest house. I'm making my way. As I get close, the dog suddenly like put their head up and they're like staring at me. Now I am a bit concerned ki, is everything okay? Did I do something? Like I take another step, one of them starts growling. I take another step, they start barking. And then suddenly I see like these six dogs chasing after me
Oh,
at like in the dead of the night. And I'm trying to make my way, like I don't want to get bitten. No. Run. And it's just like little old me making my way back to my cousin's place, trying to like not get bitten. And so, luckily I ended up like running into one of my cousins there. And like he's a big guy. So the thing is, I was a kid, so I was like really tiny. He's a big guy with an imposing figure, so like he just stood there, and the dogs didn't come nearby, and they just ran back. I am just there like petrified of like, oh, I want to walk alone. I please take me to the guest house, because I can't, like I'm too scared of the dogs this time. So that one experience is like always going to be like, I don't know if I want to go near the dogs or not.
that is, I can completely see how it would create a stigma. And you know what?
Oh yeah,
It completely justified. Know that you are not without reason to be afraid, and you gotta take your time, man. Like a lot of
yeah.
people genuinely take a lot of time to come out of this fear, and I am definitely one of those who's not gonna be like, "Arey, kar la, kuch nahi hoga, aja, aja, aja." You take your time. You have to build that comfort level again.
Yeah,
And I am not denying that there are some crazy exceptions to dogs and cats, that would. I mean, I've heard, again, these are things I've heard of. And just to be open and objective, I will admit that there might be dogs and cats that want to attack you. But for the most part, and I mean like 99 point, like 999% most part, they don't bother you if you don't bother them. But that's weird. Like
yeah.
sometimes when we meet the outlier, when we meet that 0.0001%.
Honestly, like that 0.001%
Yeah, yeah,
or whatever it
see
might
that
be, like
it
whenever we get to them,
yeah,
I think they have been through things that like
true,
make them do that.
true,
Like,
true. Like
I don't think it's yeah,
that I mean, and that's the thing. But as it's weird, and it's a little, it's also a little unfortunate that as humans we
yeah,
go like, अरे नहीं, हम लोग का है ये planet, तो ये dogs deserve नहीं करते. They have to be put
not at
down.
all. Like that's a sad way of
Yeah.
thinking about
Some
like
people like really like some people are cool like you. Like they're like, ठीक है ना, dog fucked with me, ठीक है, that was a one-off. But then there are people like dog fucked with me. You know what? We're gonna put all dogs down, and then that just becomes a bad trip, like a full
yeah.
BT, and you don't want to go
I
there.
mean,
But
I personally want a dog, so I mean, it's
yeah,
like
I mean, damn cool of you, man. And then to all the sheepers listening out there, I kid you not. I really kid you not. Unless you're somebody who's legit mortified of animals, there is no better decision than adopting a stray dog or a stray cat.